after two local ladies saw what they took to be movement in the statue. The crowds grew.
On Thursday night, I saw Our Lady sway forward until I thought that the statue would fall down.
Have you ever experienced a moment that made you question everything you thought you knew about the world? Imagine sitting in a quiet church, surrounded by the soft glow of candles and the hushed whispers of prayer, when suddenly a statue of Jesus begins to move its head. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, this jaw-dropping event happened during a Catholic Mass in Mexico, leaving the congregation in a state of awe and disbelief. This incredible moment is just one of many where statues have seemingly defied the laws of nature, igniting debates about miracles and the divine. Today, we're diving into 30 extraordinary instances where statues around the globe have captured the hearts and minds of believers and skeptics alike. From weeping icons to lifelike movements that leave us questioning reality, these stories are sure to stir your imagination and challenge your perceptions of faith. Number 30. The one with the moving eye. At the Perpetual Adoration Chapel in Cleveland, Ohio, two devoted Christians were captivated by a lifelike figure of Jesus Christ in a captivating encounter. Surprisingly, the statue's eyes seemed to move as they recorded, staring upwards with such intensity that it was hard to tell if it was a sculpture or not. The intricate workmanship of the sculpture caused a sensation of awe and wonder among onlookers since it gave the impression of being human. A discussion erupted over the limits of human skill and divine artistry as the video went viral, with many questioning whether the statue could really blink or turn its head. Some onlookers were so taken with the statue's realism that they wondered if it had any sort of animatronics. The extraordinary video enthralled viewers, drawing attention to the delicate boundary between art and religion and the potency of symbols in stirring up strong feelings. Number 29. Honduras's Weeping Virgin Mary statue. A Honduran family's story takes an unexpected turn when they say their beloved Virgin Mary statue started crying soon after they brought it home from their vacation in 2014. The local community and beyond were captivated by the news as it traveled rapidly. For many, the sight of the statue's tears was a sign from on high, a sign of a miracle. As a result, the family's house became a pilgrimage site, and many came to witness the miraculous occurrence for themselves. There was a surge in the belief that this was a divine sign when the occurrence garnered public attention. The monument was moved to a more noticeable spot so that more people could see its daily performances as its fame increased. Inspiring hope and spiritual contemplation among believers, this occurrence has not only deepened the family's faith, but also reaffirmed the belief that miraculous experiences may occur in ordinary life. Number 28. The Jesus statue in Sinaloa. A Jesus statue reportedly opened its eyes and moved its arms during a festival in Sinaloa, Mexico. The footage of this remarkable occurrence went viral, evoking both enthusiasm and doubt. Because the statue usually stands in a prayer position, many took its apparent movement as a sign of God's favor while they prayed and sang praises to it. As the monument appeared to come to life, many onlookers felt a profound sense of wonder and respect, and it caused many to question their religious beliefs. This occurrence has sparked conversations about the power of these kinds of events and the lasting effects they can have on people and places. Skeptics looked for tampering in the tape, but the crowd's overwhelming emotion highlighted the strong link between religion and the extraordinary. Number 27. Francis's Evolving Eyes. At a special ceremony honoring St. Francis in Pennsylvania, someone noticed that a statue of the saint seemed to be moving its eyes. According to eyewitnesses, an eerie atmosphere was created as the statue's eyes moved to look at the worshippers. Those in attendance were moved to tears and prayer when they witnessed the spectacle, seeing it as a link to the saint. A wide range of emotions, from excitement to doubt, washed over the church community as they hurried to congregate to talk about the consequences of this occurrence. Many took the statue's motions as a sign from St. Francis himself, encouraging people to follow his example and strengthening their faith. Many people continue to visit the location in the hopes of having another supernatural experience there because of this incredible occurrence, which has become local legend. Number 26. Costa Rica's Virgin Mary statue. During a liturgy in Costa Rica, a statue of the Virgin Mary allegedly bled oil, which many took as a sign of miracles. There was a surge of tourists hoping to view the phenomenon for themselves after the incident garnered a lot of media coverage. Having stood for many years in the town, the monument came to represent trust and optimism for the faithful. Many saw the event's reports of a strong presence as a sign from on high, encouraging believers to put their faith back into practice. As word spread about the statue's importance, many claim to have had spiritual awakenings or personal transformations as a result of seeing the amazing image. This instance highlights the power of extraordinary occurrences to uplift entire communities, reawakening believers' faith and fostering their dedication. Number 25. A California statue of Saint Joseph. When attendees at an outdoor mass in California saw a statue of Saint Joseph appear to tremble a little, the incident garnered national attention. Videos shot by several in attendance of the event soon became popular on video sharing platforms. Talks about miracles and the presence of God in ordinary life were prompted by the statue's delicate movements. Because they thought Saint Joseph was answering their prayers, witnesses reported experiencing elation and a new sense of spirituality. As a result of the incident, people were once again excited to attend community events, and the church saw an uptick in participation at religious services. This remarkable event encourages people to strengthen their religion by highlighting the many ways it may be experienced in daily life. Number 24. The Lima Winking Virgin Mary. A Virgin Mary statue in Lima, Peru, gained international attention after reports surfaced that it winked at worshippers during a mass. An assortment of emotions, from shock to profound spiritual contemplation, erupted from the audience as a result of this sudden change. For many, the winking Virgin Mary came to represent optimism, since they saw it as an indication of her benevolent presence. People from all over the area flocked to see the miracle sculpture as word of the incident circulated rapidly on social media. Even if some doubted the veracity of the incident, many believers drew strength and encouragement from it, which only served to deepen their faith. As this episode shows, such events can have far-reaching consequences for people and places, demonstrating how the holy and the secular are inseparable. Number 23. Mary's changing hands in New York. While worshippers in a New York church were praying, they saw that a statue of the Virgin Mary's hands were moving slightly. According to eyewitnesses, the statue seemed to extend its arm toward the worshippers, establishing a rapport and suggesting a relationship between the faithful and the divine. The audience members were moved to tears by this heartfelt moment, and many took the dance as a message of solace and peace. A large number of people flocked to the church after hearing about the occurrence, hoping to view the miracle statue and find comfort in their religion. Since then, the movable hands have sparked discussions over the possibility of divine intervention and the nature of miracles. The profound emotional connections that people have with their religion and the potent symbols that uplift them are brought to light by this extraordinary occurrence. Number 22. Italy's statue of Saint Michael. The awe-inspiring sight of a statue of Saint Michael the Archangel allegedly occurring during a religious service in Italy has gone viral. The moment the statue's blade seemed to rise as the audience prayed was seen on camera by multiple locations. Many saw the statue's apparent tiny movement in the video and took it as a message from on high, offering wisdom and protection. Overwhelmed with emotion, many believed they had witnessed a supernatural event. As a result of this event, many people go to the location on pilgrimages, hoping to have a personal encounter with the mighty Archangel and find solace in their religion. The ongoing debates sparked by the statue's movement highlight the significance of faith during challenging times and the connection between supernatural symbols and human experience. Number 21. The Weeping Virgin of Fatima. Among the many miracles attributed to the Portuguese statue of the Virgin of Fatima is the story of how it supposedly wept. Tens of thousands of onlookers were enchanted by the sighting, which happened during a significant pilgrimage. For many, the tears were a sign that God was listening to their prayers and answering their requests, which only served to strengthen their conviction in the efficacy of divine intervention. Church authorities launched inquiries after the wailing statue garnered interest from both Christians and non-believers. Countless believers have sought peace and a deeper relationship with God as a result of the miraculous statue of the Virgin of Fatima and the continuous obsession with her. This instance is a strong illustration of how supernatural occurrences can have far-reaching effects on communities, bringing people closer to their faith and the secrets that unite them. Number 20. The revolving statue of Jesus Christ. Envision yourself in the middle of a serious Catholic church with the candles fading and the whispers of prayer filling the air when all of a sudden, a statue of Jesus appears to awaken. Witnesses said they saw the statue's torso sway subtly before noticing its head slowly turn. The assembly was filled with wonder as they witnessed this extraordinary event. Some even gasped and fell to their knees as if struck by a supernatural encounter. An atmosphere packed with emotion and spiritual importance pervaded the church, according to witnesses, who noted a profound quiet as the movements unfolded. A few worshippers wasted little time grabbing their phones and filming the unbelievable as it unfolded. Skeptics cast doubt on the veracity of the incident, claiming it might have been an optical illusion brought about by the play of light and shadow, even though many others were ecstatic over what they saw as a miracle. But for some there, it was a genuine and life-altering event that sparked conversations about religion, spirituality, and the meaning of life. Number 19. The eye movements of the Redeemer statue. The Christ the Redeemer statue, a beacon of hope and faith for millions, stands tall above Rio de Janeiro. A video of the statue's eyes seemingly moving gradually from side to side has gone viral recently, capturing the attention of people all across the globe. Although this may appear to be a small motion, the massive size of the statue makes it likely that those below would not notice it. Different viewers came to different conclusions about the footage. Some saw a miraculous sign, while others thought it was just a trick of the camera or an optical illusion. Quickly analyzing the video, experts checked the lighting and angles to find out where the supposed motions were coming from. As people consider the implications of a living statue for their beliefs, this episode adds fuel to the fire of the debate between faith and doubt. The Redeemer statue's enigmatism has long baffled onlookers, who have been prompted to question the limits of reality and the existence of God. Number 18. Saltillos living statue. An unassuming statue of Christ in the magical Mexican city of Saltillo became the focal point of a remarkable occurrence. A cell phone camera caught an enthralling moment during a traditional service. The statue's stone-carved eyes seemed to come to life as the camera zeroed in on them, locking onto the lens with a disturbing realness. Many spectators experienced a profound spiritual connection as a result of this powerful event, which triggered a wave of emotional reactions. At first, skeptics thought it was just a trick of the light, but after hearing that the statue's eyelids closed with graceful purpose, they began to believe the story. At that instant, the statue became a symbol of faith, attracting sightseers from all over the globe who wanted to see the miracle for themselves. Since then, the story of the living Christ has become an integral part of Saltillo's spiritual story, demonstrating the significance of faith and the ripple effect it can have on people's lives and the world at large. Number 17. The tilting Christ statue. As they walked solemnly through the streets with a sacred figure of Christ in tow, the faithful noticed something out of the ordinary. The statue seemed to bend its head subtly. The surprising motion was recorded by many cameras and immediately circulated on social media, sparking discussions on its veracity. People looked for evidence of manipulation or misreading in every frame as the footage spread. For those who put their faith in Christ, the figure's modest nod was a profound indication of God's presence among them. The importance of critical thinking was highlighted by naysayers, who raised the prospect that the statue's motion could have been caused by environmental variables or human mistake. This encounter prompts viewers to contemplate their beliefs as they navigate the enigma of the divine, serving as a reminder of the intricate connection between religion and rationality. Number 16. The blinking statue of Mary. An unexpected turn of events occurred when a statue of the Virgin Mary, typically associated with tranquility, seemed to blink while people were gathered around it. Witnesses' looks of disbelief and the subsequent outpouring of comments from believers and doubters were caught on tape during this moment. The blink of the Virgin Mary is seen by many to be a miraculous sign, a reassuring sign that she is with us even in our darkest hours. People flock to the place in the hopes of witnessing the event firsthand after the clip circulated on social media. On the other hand, doubters have outcompeting theories, such as the possibility that the motion was caused by a mechanical malfunction or an optical illusion. Individuals are grappling with the meaning of such events in their spiritual journeys, and the ongoing debate highlights the power of perception and belief. Faith and awe are embodied in the flashing statue of the Virgin Mary, which has attracted innumerable people who want for a closer relationship with God. Number 15. Santa Ana Church's Nodding Jesus Statue. During Good Friday Mass at Santa Ana Church, an extraordinary thing happened. A statue of Jesus, usually kept in a glass case, started to slowly bob its head. At first, very few people paid any attention to this astounding occurrence. But as word of amazement spread, it became abundantly evident that something truly remarkable was taking place. Video footage of the statue's movements sparked discussions over the possibility of supernatural involvement and miracles. Many saw the statue's persistent nodding as an indication of God's presence, since witnesses noted a profound sense of reverence while it did so. An incident like this can have a profound effect on people's faith. It brought many back to the church as they sought meaning in their lives. The event's veracity is still up for debate, but the nodding statue stands as a symbol of the difficulties of believing and the haziness of distinctions between the extraordinary and the mundane. Number 14. Holy Guadalupe. The Our Lady of Guadalupe statue in picturesque New Mexico is at the heart of an enthralling mystery. Church authorities launched inquiries after reports surfaced suggesting the sculpture seemed to be crying. The tears turned out to be a special concoction of olive oil and perfume utilized in Catholic rituals, as discovered upon closer inspection. Regardless of this rational scientific account, the experience evoked strong feelings in the audience, many of whom took the liquid to be a supernatural sign of mercy and solace. The chrism, a holy anointing oil, had a mystic aspect that captivated both pilgrims and sightseers. According to the church, this event had a profound spiritual effect, drawing people closer to God and their faith. As a strong reminder of the profound bond between religion and the supernatural, the tale of Our Lady of Guadalupe never ceases to move people to profound awe and devotion. Number 13. The Elman Weeping Statue. An astonishing event took place in a little church in the Mexican town of Elman when a statue of the Virgin Mary startled onlookers by crying. Many witnesses reported a strong spiritual presence, and the experience was bizarre. Many were eager to see this remarkable event for themselves after hearing about the tears, which they took to be a plea for calm in the midst of chaos. Some doubters, including scientists, put out competing theories, such as the idea that the statue was actually gathering atmospheric moisture and then releasing it in a manner that looked like tears. But believers were so moved by the sight of the statue in tears that it strengthened their faith and even attracted the attention of the Vatican, who dispatched an investigation team to study the phenomena. Showing how miraculous events may touch communities and individuals profoundly, this episode poignantly reminds us of the relationship between faith and doubt. Number 12. Satap Jesus Statue. A Jesus monument in Satap underwent an impromptu movement during Holy Week in 2019, captivating both believers and skeptics. The statue's head, which is typically held in a serious position, appeared to tilt slightly, as if being guided by an invisible power. There was a flurry of inquiry and conjecture regarding the movement's nature when witnesses recorded the event on camera. Since the movement occurred on a very holy day in the Christian calendar, some thought it might be a mere mechanical error. Others wondered if it might portend a more profound divine message. As the video went viral, people's reactions ranged from wonder to cynicism, prompting many to question their own beliefs and the veracity of miracles. We are prompted to contemplate the limits of faith, perception, and the divine by this remarkable occurrence. Number 11. The Akita Crying Virgin Mary. A statue of the Virgin Mary in Akita, Japan, drew worldwide attention after reports surfaced that it started to cry. Several miraculous occurrences, including a sequence of messages from the Virgin Mary to Sister Agnes Katsuko Sasagawa, revolved around the statue in the convent of Sister Agnes Katsuko Sasagawa. Video and still images showed what appeared to be tears falling from the statue's eyes, prompting questions regarding the veracity of the sighting. It wasn't until the late 1970s that reports of the statue sobbing surfaced, prompting inquiries by church authorities. Despite extensive analysis, many still saw the tears as a plea for prayer and repentance in the midst of a troubled world. The Vatican's recognition of the Akita statue further establishes its place in the history of miraculous events. Those in search of peace and spiritual connection continue to go to this case in search of the venerated statue number 10, Lubbock's Weeping Virgin Mary. Supposedly, a statue of the Virgin Mary started crying oil in a modest Lubbock, Texas home. Many people came to see the occurrence, and it was covered extensively in the local media. There was a lot of mystery surrounding the event, and Christians seeking a proof of divine presence were drawn to the statue because its tears were supposed to have a sweet perfume. The family said that the tears started flowing soon after they brought the statue into their home, right around the time when they were praying for direction and dealing with their own personal issues. The house became a pilgrimage place as news of the statue spread, drawing visitors from all walks of life. Witnesses frequently recounted intense emotional experiences that strengthened their conviction in the miraculous, while critics questioned the tears' authenticity. Number 9, the blinking statue of Jesus Christ. Picture this. You happen onto a video of a nearly lifelike statue of Jesus that does things like blink its eyes and move its lips in ways no one can explain. Strange footage like this has people wondering if what they're seeing is real or just a joke. The unsettling realism of the sculpture and the intentionality of the motions prompt questions on the limits of perception and belief. Some viewers of the video speculated that, like lifelike wax figures that shock unsuspecting tourists, the statue might be hiding a real person behind its exterior. Theories ranging from miraculous occurrences to expertly planned shows have been spawned by the nuanced movements. Regardless of one's perspective, the movie is captivating and a potent reminder of the enigmatic nature of faith and the unexpected ways in which the supernatural can manifest. Number 8. Jesus Christ turns his head. In a shocking turn of events, a statue of Jesus in Mexico with his disciples and a cross caught the public's eye after its head started moving erratically. Eyewitnesses recounted a breathtaking image in which the head of the statue swung back and forth as if it were joining in the passionate prayers of the assembled multitude. The mesmerizing motion persisted, casting doubt on the veracity of seeming miracles and refusing to yield to easy explanations. Some saw it as a sign from Jesus, but others questioned whether it was all in Jesus' head or if it was just staged. Many who were there thought it was a sign from on high. As a result of this extraordinary event, people began talking about believing and investigating the limits of faith and skepticism. This continuing discussion emphasizes the extraordinary relationship between faith and such events and how they can have a significant influence on communities. Number 7. Mystery or mechanism. In one prominent case, a sculpture of Jesus showed an exceptionally lifelike depiction that was more nuanced and detailed than its forerunners. At times, onlookers thought the statue's eyes were moving, which was both hypnotic and unnerving. Some thought it was just a mechanical phenomena, and the church was just cashing in on modern art. Others saw it as a sign of a closer relationship with God. Viewers are left to wonder, when they examine the tape, if these astounding displays are real miracles or if they are sophisticated illusions. People are encouraged to contemplate their beliefs and the remarkable world around them through this continuing conversation that captures the conflict between faith and doubt. Lifelike sculptures continue to captivate audiences because they force us to question what constitutes art and what constitutes the sacred, creating a space where contemplation and discussion thrive. Number 6. The Buddha Statue's Awakening. At a Buddhist center on February 27, 2012, something extraordinary happened when people saw Buddha sculptures moving in ways that couldn't be explained. Skeptics and believers alike were taken aback by the claims that the sculptures could blink, move their lips, and even breathe. There was an air of spiritual energy, because witnesses said they saw the breast of one statue move as if it were alive, and the fingers of another moved. Shocked witnesses whipped out their phones to record the occurrence, and many were left wondering what it was. Adding to the mystique of the occasion, several witnesses claimed to have seen light beams coming from the sculptures. Even though some doubt the authenticity of the motions, the recorded footage is nonetheless strong proof of the strange events. This occurrence prompts a more profound examination of the sacred in ordinary life by reminding us of how faith and experience overlap. Number 5. The 1992 Mysteries. Unsettling motions were noticed by onlookers in 1992 when they recorded a chilling film of a lifeless figure of Jesus inside a coffin box. The video went viral because it showed the statue's uncanny head tilting and subtle facial muscle twitching. People were talking non-stop about whether or not the video was real because of how realistic the movements were. The person who recorded the footage insists that what viewers see is actually what was documented, despite doubts. Audiences are still captivated by the haunting realism of this experience, which makes them wonder about miracles and the remarkable ways the divine might show itself in our lives. Viewers are left to wonder where reality ends and the supernatural begins, highlighting the profound influence of visual media on perception and belief. Number 4. The animated statue of Sai Baba. The statue of Sai Baba, respected all throughout the world for his teachings of peace and compassion, is one of the most spiritually significant monuments in the world. A Sai Baba statue shocked onlookers when it seemed to shrug its shoulders, causing a sari to flutter ever so slightly. When the cloth suddenly sprung from the statue's hand, as if propelled by some invisible force, the movement took a turn for the worst. Incredulous onlookers wondered if they had witnessed a miracle or a random occurrence. Skeptics looked for natural causes, while believers saw it as an expression of Sai Baba's spirit. As we contemplate this miraculous event, we are encouraged to question the limits between the holy and the profane, and to think about the impact of faith and the many ways in which people understand spiritual encounters. Number 3. India's Milk Miracle. In a peculiar incident involving a Ganesha statue, devotees noticed that the milk they donated to the statue seemed to disappear without a trace. People from all over India were captivated by this unusual event and flocked to see it for themselves. Skeptics looked for scientific reasons for the liquid's departure, while many thought they had seen a miracle from on high. Even though many doubted what was happening, for many followers it was a holy time when they felt Ganesha's heavenly presence. The gulf between believers and skeptics illustrates the intricate relationship between religion and logic, drawing attention to the fact that supernatural occurrences have the power to create profound emotional bonds and encourage people on their paths of faith. Number 2. The incident at the Linen Temple. And supposed video showing the venerated Buddhist goddess Guan Yin blinking has surfaced from China's Linen Temple. People all across the world were captivated by this incident, which seemed to defy logic. Although some have speculated that the flickering might be due to camera shake or changing lighting, the footage's constant camera angle and the background sounds of temple bells cast doubt on these theories. As debates over the event's veracity raged on, spectators pondered whether or not they had really seen a manifestation of heavenly presence. Whatever the case may be, the video's enduring appeal to mystification by the supernatural has led many to consider how we come to understand the divine and the role of faith in our lives. Number 1. The Neb Sanu Monument. Neb Sanu, an ancient Egyptian sculpture, started to show strange motions at the Manchester Museum in England, setting the stage for a terrifying spectacle. Worried that an old curse similar to the infamous tales surrounding King Tutankhamun's tomb had begun to run amok when the statue, which was supposedly a sacrifice to the god of the dead, began to spin on its own, the story went. The renowned Egyptologist Campbell Price of the museum speculated that the mummy the statue was meant to protect may have been destroyed, which would explain its apparent mobility. A security camera was installed to further investigate, and the footage showed that the statue could only be moved during the day. Physicists came up with a scientific explanation based on vibrations caused by the museum's everyday foot traffic in response to this finding. We are invited to contemplate the limits between the natural and the supernatural as the persistent enigma surrounding Neb Sanu, the enigmatic dance of faith and mystery. As we wrap up our investigation into miraculous sculptures, we are left to consider the deep interaction between belief and doubt that these occurrences provoke. Every instance, from the Mexican Jesus statue to the Akita Virgin Mary in tears, both enthralls and challenges our notion of the divine. These instances go beyond simple observation. They speak to our universal need for belonging in a rational world. Whether seen as real miracles or just illusions, they are potent symbols of the inexplicable mysteries that surround us. These incredible events should make us think about our personal beliefs and the stories that have an impact on our spiritual paths. They push us to confront the mysterious, to welcome curiosity and awe, and to see that the most surprising things can happen in the most unexpected ways. These occurrences remind us that, in a world where everything is becoming more and more ordinary, we should be grateful for the remarkable and keep an open mind toward the ideas of divine intervention and the deep mysteries that mold our view of faith. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of miraculous statues and their astonishing movements. Whether you see these events as divine signs or intriguing mysteries, they undoubtedly spark curiosity and reflection about our beliefs. We hope these stories inspire you to explore the depth of your own faith and seek out the extraordinary in everyday life. If you enjoyed this video, please share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more captivating explorations into the miraculous. Until next time, keep your heart and mind open to the wonders around you.